use this format in the future, but as you can probably tell from the album cover here, this evening we are going to be looking into some trivia about Fleetwood Mac's album Rumours. So this cost me £7.99 from a shop in Dundee, Scotland. A very, what's the word I'm looking for? A very popular album for vinyl collectors. Quite often one you see in shops, brand new and also pre-owned. So you see the band on the back here. Now, I don't know a huge amount about Fleetwood Mac, so I have got some trivia here about this album in particular, but I couldn't tell you who each of these members are, which is pretty poor, but I can tell you who plays the instruments. Just along here it tells me. So, we've got John McVie, who plays bass, Lindsay Buckingham, who does guitars and some vocals. We have Stevie Nicks, who also does vocals. We have Mick Fleetwood, who does drums and percussion. And we have Christine McVie, who does keyboards, synthesizer and vocals also. So there are 3 vocalists who make up Fleetwood Mac. However, I also believe that there was another one, but maybe that's on a future album. I'm just going to move it a little bit closer to you so you can have a little bit of a stronger look. Trying to avoid the glare of the light. So, first and foremost, I'm going to be using information from a website called 957benfm.com. So I just want to give them the credit for this information. This is where it's been collated, and I'm just going to be using it in this video this evening. So thank you to them for providing this list. The production costs for this album were absolutely crazy. Fleetwood Mac's Rumours racked up a production bill of nearly $1 million. Now, in 2022, that would have converted to around $4.85 million. And this means that an album like this, with such production costs, would probably not see the light of day in this era of music. Many of the band members, if not all, were dealing with a lot of relationship issues during the recording and the production of this album. However, they were able to sell over 45 million copies worldwide. In the United States alone, Rumours has sold 20 million and counting. Rumours had 4 songs released as singles. I'm just the songs from this album called Dreams Re-Entered, the Hot 100, and it was a video of a man who was drinking, I don't know what was the drink again, I think it was Ocean Spray, like a raspberry or a cranberry drink, and he was lip syncing and he was skateboarding down the road. Anyway, so lots and lots of people recreated that viral video, including some of the members from the band as well. So that's the power of social media and the power of the short form content that it re-entered the Hot 100. One of the co-producers for the album, called Ken Kaylat or Kailat, said that they had to retune the guitar of Lindsay every 20 minutes to keep it in tune, and they wanted to get the best sound they could, because if you're tracking guitars for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they're going to gradually get out of tune. So they made sure that every 20 minutes they were keeping it finely tuned for the parts that were more intricate and the kind of picking of the strings. One of the songs, let me see which track number. So, Don't Stop, which is track number 4 on the back here, was used as the theme for Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign. The song The Chain, now this is one that I think is going to be one of the strongest songs on the album. Apparently, it was lots of different song ideas cut on tape into one, and it took nearly a year to write and record it and to mix it all together. It was the first song that the production team worked on, and they spent 9 months revisiting it, and yeah, it looks like they kind of just took a few different ideas that each band member had composed and then chopped it together, and I think I completely understand that, because when you listen to it, it does sound like at least 2 different songs. You have the initial start, and then you have the bit where it kind of tails off, and it's like a whole different world opens up. Rumours won the Grammy for Record of the Year in 1977. It was joined alongside the Star Wars soundtrack, James Taylor's JT, The Eagles' Hotel California, and Steely Dan's Aya, or Aja. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. This album is also part of the Grammy Hall of Fame. Now, I did stumble across some other interesting facts about this album, and I'm struggling to find them again now. It must have been on a different website, but let me give you some kind of more generic information. So it was released on the 4th of February 1977, having been recorded the previous year in 1976. It was recorded and mixed and produced in a variety of different studios in Miami, Los Angeles, and parts of Hollywood, which obviously is also part of Los Angeles. The previous album was self-titled as Fleetwood Mac, and then it was followed by Dusk in 1979. At the end of the day, it was mostly recorded in California. According to Wikipedia, it clocks in at 39 minutes and 3 seconds, something that I will have to test out when I listen to it next. I'll have to get a stopwatch out. There were 4 singles from the album, and I think any one of the songs on this album could have been a single. The singles were Go Your Own Way, which was in December of '76 it was released. We also had Dreams in March of '77. Then we had Don't Stop in the April, before finishing with the final single from the album, You Make Loving Fun, in the September of 1977. Gone are the days of major hype for an album, is what I'm trying to say. I think the way music is these days is quite different to how it was and would have been in the 1970s. Yeah, my apologies here. I did have some other items of information I wanted to share, and I have lost it completely. So I am trying to find it now as I'm speaking to you. So, anyway, let me talk to you a little bit about the front cover. So it features a shot of Fleetwood with his foot raised on a stool, while Stevie Nicks is dressed in her stage kind of persona. And you can see here as well, he has a crystal ball in his left hand. I'm hoping you can see that from there. Let me move it a little bit closer again for you. It's one of those album covers that, when I'm really looking at it now, it's quite different to what I kind of you do get the full album, but it's quite interesting to see how it's they've been kind of cut out, and then they've got a very light yellow, a cream colour that surrounds them. I was a little bit late to the party of Fleetwood Mac, and there was a lot of songs that I knew, and when I realised it was them that did them, I realised what a powerful and strong outfit they are together. One of the first times I saw Stevie Nicks was in American Horror Story. I think it would have been season 3, I think. One of the characters in that show was obsessed with Stevie Nicks, and then she makes an appearance. From what I remember, it was a long time ago that I saw it, but from what I remember, it was in some sort of swampland, and I think she was in a kind of cabin. But yeah, maybe that is nonsense. It's been a while since I saw that. I've not really rewatched any of those seasons. I've only watched each one once. One of the other things that I remember reading in preparation for this video was that one of the songs, let me have a look at the back to remind myself. Yes, I think it was maybe Songbird. Apparently, it was written in 10 minutes. Now, this is one of those things where I really want to know the kind of what that means exactly, because obviously it's not been written, recorded, and mixed in 10 minutes. That is more or less impossible, especially when you hear how this album turned out from a production point of view. But yeah, anyway, so the album's original working title was Yesterday's Gone, which was taken from the what is it? The Don't Stop chorus. So Yesterday's Gone. I think that maybe it still would have worked, but Rumours. I think what's good about that is that the name was taken, or it was they named the album that because of all the different pieces of gossip and the rumours that were circulating about the band during the production and recording of the album, with all the previously mentioned relationship issues and breakdowns that were going on, and it really seemed that they were able to battle through all this conflict from a personal point of view to create an album that goes down as a very, very strong, very important album of the 70s. Not only that, but a very iconic sounding, what am I trying to say? Stevie Nicks' voice of the style of music wasn't a common mix at the time. I don't think I'm making sense of what I'm saying. Anyway, it's one of those albums that I think it must have taken a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of friction to get to where it was. But yes, anyway, Fleetwood Mac then, and this is their album Rumours. If you get a chance, let me know if you've listened to this album and what's your favourite track on the album. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tracks. Have a little listen through. If you have it on record, have a listen there. If you have the availability to listen to it on streaming services, have a listen there. And just take particular attention to how the overall sound is, and it may give you an extra appreciation when you've heard some of these items of trivia that I've explained and talked about a little bit today. Thank you for your patience as I stumbled through some sections of this video. But yeah, I'd also be interested to know if this format of having the record on the floor while I am speaking, if it is quite relaxing. I'm trying to be as smooth and gentle as possible, but I'd be interested to know if this is a format that is appealing for future videos. For now though, thanks again for watching. This has been Goric ASMR, and I wish you a pleasant evening.